نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين. Okay, so yesterday we finished Surah Falaq. Let's do a little bit of recap or slight, not quiz, but let's see if you remember any meanings. So, okay, anyone can, unmute and answer. What does as-samad mean?
That means absolute.
Cool, very nice. What does the word falaq mean?
Wait, do I have to answer?
Anyone can unmute and answer, it's fine.
Dawn.
Dawn.
Dawn, okay, cool. Ahad.
The one.
The one.
Khalaqa.
He created.
He created.
Kufuwan.
Comparable.
Yeah, comparable or like. Are you seeing somewhere, Riz?
I'm outside.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm at my mom's work, so.
Okay, yeah,
That's
I would prefer you try to remember and answer from memory. Nafasat.
Like blower.
One.
Yeah,
She said something.
The blower.
The blower, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see girls answering. What's wrong? Sure. Zara,
Evil.
Sumaya.
Evil.
Evil, okay. And who else is there? Inaya, Miral. I don't hear your voices. Hasad.
Envy.
Envy, good. What else? Ghasiqin. Ghasaqa means darkness.
Darkness. I had that at the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
The knots.
Knots. Good job. Okay. Anyone can give me like a 1-minute summary of Surah Falaq? Quick summary. Yes, Riz.
So basically the first ayah, it says, say, I seek refuge in the Lord of Dawn, which we know is Allah. And then after that, in the next ayahs, like from the evil of what he created and from the evil, that's what it starts with. And so it's mostly showing how you should seek refuge from all these different things. And you should ask Allah for protection by reading this surah.
Yes.
And so like each of these ayat, it tells about a different thing, which is bad. Like the second one, the evil of what he created, which is like all the bad things like shaitan and not. Then the darkness, like the bad things that happen in the night. The blowers of the knot are the people who do black magic. And the enviers are people who might go to the black magic people. So like, because they're jealous of us and they want to take it away from us.
Absolutely. Very nice. Good job, Riz. Zara?
Surah Falaq is basically seeking refuge in Allah from like darkness and black magic. And he basically created the evil, but like we seek Allah, the Lord of the Dawn. And each ayah is different, like Riz said, and like we should stay away from like those people who do black magic. And if we ever get like cursed, we should get refuge from Allah.
Very good. Absolutely. So in other words, if I say that Surah Falaq is asking protection from all the things that are outside of us, like, the things that are external to us, which we really don't have any control over. And that's why we are asking Allah to protect us. Am I right if I say that? Right? These are all like external things that we are asking for Allah's protection, right?
Yes.
So So Surah An Naas, on the other hand, is asking protection from things that are within, from within us, from inside us. If you remember last time when we finished off the surah, we talked about that when we ask Allah to protect us from somebody who's jealous, we also need to be mindful of the fact that is somebody else asking Allah for protection from us? Are we not those people, or are we those kind of people as well who fall into this category sometimes, where we get jealous and we become jealous and we try to do things which are not appropriate out of envy or jealousy? So this part is specifically comes when we do Surah An Naas. Okay, I'll go to the part where we start doing the translation. So I hope you have your Quran books. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, Qul, meaning
Say.
say. Good job. A'udhu,
Seek refuge.
Seek refuge.
seek refuge, just seek refuge.
I seek refuge.
I seek refuge.
I see.
Good. Birabbi,
The Lord.
In the Lord.
That's the meaning of Rab. What's the meaning of B?
In.
In.
Yeah.
An Naas, mankind. That's the only new word here. An Naas mean human beings or mankind. The word Nas is from the short, which we call, the 3-letter words that Arabic has. It is Noon, Sin, Ya, Nasiya. And the word Noon, Sin, Ya means to forget. It means to forget. And now how forgetting is related to humans? Do we know? How is it related to humans? Like Nasiya means to forget, and Anas, like people are basically forgetful, right? People forget. So that is something that defines us. We are forgetful people. We forget things. We don't remember. We are told something one time, we forget. We don't do it. We are given some instructions, we forget. We don't remember. And that's why there is another name for Quran, which is Dhikr, which is actually the name of our class as well, which means reminder, to remember. Quran is a reminder. Quran reminds us again and again and again. And that's why we never stop reading Quran, because by nature, we are forgetful. We forget. So we can't just do Quran one time and then just leave it. Oh, I'm done. I did the degree. I did finish my, Quran once. I'm done. Checkbox, check. No, that is not how it works, because of the very nature of the mankind, of the humans, is that we forget. So we're supposed to do it again and again until it's our time to go. Zara?
For like this line, would it be like the complete sentence with like the grammar and stuff? Would it be say, I seek refuge in the Lord from mankind?
Off.
Oh, off. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, let's write down. Say. Okay, so who are we telling this? So when it says say, so who are we talking about here? Qul is a command. Basically, Allah is telling us to say. Primarily, Allah is telling Prophet Muhammad SAW to say. And then from there, as you know, as a natural progression, this command is for each one of us. Each one of us is asked to say. And say what? I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind. Okay, there we said in the Surah Falaq, we said Lord of Falaq. If you notice, Falaq is something external, you know, outside. It's way up above us. An Naas, people. People, whose people? Us. So now, as I said, we are coming within. We are talking about our own selves now. Now we are talking about things that we do. So we are asking refuge, Allah, us. Okay, next.
Focus.
Easy. Malik, meaning
Owner.
owner. Good job. An Naas,
Mankind.
of mankind. Mankind, human beings, people.
Focus.
Yeah, can you mute, please?
Focusing. Why are you playing with that then? I'm still in the back.
You mute her.
They're fighting.
Okay, I just muted. That's okay. 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 Malik An Naas, owner of people. And remember, we discussed this in very, very detail, the meaning of the word owner. When did we do that?
In Surah Fatiha.
In Surah Fatiha. Good job. How was it used in Surah Fatiha, the word owner or Malik or king?
Like as
Malik.
the owner of the Day of Judgment.
Owner of the Day of Judgment. That's right. So, and the other word that we, so basically there, actually, let me change this. There we use the word Malik, which is owner. Here it's Malik. So we're gonna say, so this. King. So Malik means king, which is very similar to owner. But yes, the word Malik will mean king of mankind. Same concept, same thing, that Allah is the one who decides. Allah is the one who knows, just like the king decides a country or any place that the king is the king of. He is the one who decides everything. The final say is with the king. Nobody can do anything unless the king approves. The king makes the laws. King makes the rules. It's up to the king whether he wants to punish somebody or he wants to forgive somebody. Same is the case with here when we say about Allah, Allah is our king. However, unlike the other kings in the world, Allah is just. Allah is the king of entire mankind and he does not do injustice to anyone. Where did this word off come from here? Okay, ilah. Ilah means, we did the word ilah before as well, right?
Think.
What does it mean? Anybody remembers? The God.
No, I don't think we've done it.
I think we have done it.
I don't remember. I have bad memory.
Okay. Let me check. Yeah. Maybe yeah, I think you are right. Maybe we did not. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, An Naas. of mankind. Okay, so three things. In the last surah, we asked Allah by asking him, saying that you are the Lord of Falaq, the dawn. So please protect us from this, this, this. Here we are asking Allah like 3 times. Oh Allah, you are our Rabb. You are our King. You are our God. And interestingly, when in history, when there are like, people who have claimed to be gods, like Pharaoh, they call themselves these three things. I am the Rabb. I am the king. They are the king, of course. So they call themselves king. And then they even call themselves God. So Allah, in a way, Allah is denying these things, because where do these things come from? Like, for example, somebody like Pharaoh, where did all these ideas come from in his mind that he can be God? What do you think?
Wasn't he a pharaoh?
He is a Pharaoh, that's right. So
Isn't
if
that
somebody like Pharaoh says, I am God, I am the king, so I am the God. And of course, as we remember, we talked about the meaning of the word Rabb. We said Rabb is a nurturer, Rabb nurturers, So he says, I'm the one, I do this,
They also say that they're like their subjects have to worship them like they're a
Yes.
god.
Yes, so that's where this point comes. Ilah, they call themselves Ilah, the God. So worship me. Right? So in a way, we are denying all those other claims that these gods had, that they are not the ones, they are not the kings, they are not the Rabb, they are not the Ilah or God or, creator or sustainer. They are not the ones. Allah is the one. So I seek refuge only in Allah. That's it. Okay, so now we don't have Pharaoh here, right? Do we have anything else that we need to keep away? We need to be mindful of? Is there any other person, thing? Yes, Zara?
We shouldn't worship idols,
Hmm.
and we should stay away from people who do black magic.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's something, as I said, that's something external. The the black magic happens, and of course, people who do it, we ask Allah to protect us from that. Now we are talking about these, things. We deny, first of all, we deny that only Allah is the one. Yes, Sumaya said we should stay away from bad people and places. Very good, absolutely. So my point was that now there was a time when there were Pharaoh, when there were these kings, the outside kings, that would claim to be God. So we deny that no, we don't worship them. We don't worship idols, just like Zara said. We only worship Allah. Yes, we do. But is there anything else that we worship, and we need to deny that as well? We need to, cut that off our list. We don't worship idol, alhamdulillah. Do we worship anything else? So for this, each one of us has to think for ourselves. I need to think about myself. You need to think about yourself. Am I worshiping Allah? Am I making Allah my Rabb, Lord, my King, my God? Or is it something else that is my God? So first thing, before I even go forward in this surah, I need to make sure that I wipe that thing out of my life. So like, for example, I can, give you an example that, yes, we don't worship idols. We don't worship any other thing. We don't worship any personality. But sometimes we do worship our own desires, our own personal gains, our personal wishes come before Allah's commands. And when we do this, we are actually worshiping. Like, for example, if you have ever heard somebody say, this is my life, I'll do whatever I want. Heard that?
Yes.
Right. So when somebody says that this is my life, no, it's not. It's not your life to begin with. Allah gave you that life. So if you're saying that it's my life, you are being the king of your life, which you are not. Who's the king? Allah is the king.
Allah.
If you think that you can make decisions about even your own life, about your own things that go against the decisions of Allah, that you just became your own Lord. You said, oh, it's up to me. I want to do this. I will do this. Well, no, Allah is the creator. So he gets to make the laws and the rules. We don't get to make the laws. We are nothing. He is up there and we are somewhere here, down there. So as human beings, as An Naas, as people, we need to realize our position. Who are we and who is Allah? Yes, it doesn't mean that we don't remain dignified. Allah has created us very, very dignified people. Allah has given us respect. So we are very, very respectful people. We are not animals. But when it compares to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are his abd, we are his slaves. We do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to do. Okay, so yeah, so let me see what you were saying here, Sumaya. Okay, she said, okay, so I wasn't following the chat. So I don't know. When did it start?
It started where I said, I don't get why people think idols are their gods.
Okay. So you don't get it why people worship idols? Good question, Miral. So again, this is the thing that we will come to it in the next ayah, which is right here, min sharril waswasil khannas. We're going to talk about that. That's where shaitan manipulates things. The very, very interesting thing is shaitan himself does not worship something else. He does not worship idols, but he loves to tell people, hey, do this, do that. Now, how could people be that, foolish that they would create idols by their own hands and worship it? Does it make sense? Anyone? Does it make sense to you that somebody created a stone, a beautiful stone, and then said, oh, that's my God?
But just if it's a beautiful stone, it doesn't really, like, it's created out of stone. Doesn't mean like it's God. It's just stone.
Exactly. So that's what we don't get it, right? How could they do this? So what is there? So there is always some logic. People create logics. That's what shaitan does. Shaitan will make up a logic for you and put it in your head, which is what we are going to talk about, like maybe tomorrow, which is we call whisper. Shaitan whispers. These are all the logic create. Logic behind why would people worship idols? The people who do, why they do it? Nobody? Okay. So those people, they say, we don't worship these idols. These stones, we make them so they can connect us to God. They'll bring us closer to God. Of course, the real God is Allah. And Allah has mentioned this multiple times in Quran. If you ask those people who created you, they're going to say, Allah did, Rahman did. But why do they worship idols? Because they think that these idols are going to bring them closer to Allah, or they cannot talk directly to Allah. So they need a middleman to talk to Allah. Allah is just like, think about a king. We talked about kings here, right? Think about a king. Can you approach king directly? Can you approach your president directly? You call phone number. Can you talk to Mr. what's his name? Joe Biden?
Trudeau. Oh wait, sorry, never mind. We live in two
Yeah.
different countries.
Okay, Trudeau. Sure, why not? Can you pick up a phone and call him?
You can call his secretary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My sister called the
Secretary.
secretary.
That was the point. Secretary. Not himself, secretary. So they say these idols are not our God, these are the secretaries. We don't worship these idols, we go through them. Good logic, right? Hana? Such a great logic. Yeah, we cannot approach any king in the world. So how could we approach the king of the kings and kings? How can we approach that? Isn't it close to impossible, you know? You cannot approach anyone who's that, you know, dignitary. So how can you approach Allah? Just by calling Allah like that, you say, Allah, please help me, and Allah will help you. How is that even possible? So that's their logic. You're getting that, Biral? Okay. So that's how they decided to, they thought that, okay, we cannot reach Allah ourselves. Some people even say, oh, we are so, you know, we have done so many sins. How can we even call Allah? We should have somebody who's really, really pious, and we should go through that person. All these are forms of shirk. All these are form of idol worshipping. Allah is not like the kings of the world. Allah is not like a president or prime minister of the world. Allah is very much approachable. We call Allah, Allah listens. Allah is not human to begin with. So humans are different. Yes, they cannot look after, like, you know, even, for example, they cannot listen to 100 people at a time, let alone, you know, millions of people, but Allah can. So we believe that Allah alone is enough. We don't need any middleman. We don't need any person in between when we want to worship Allah, when we want to talk to Allah, when we want to ask Allah for anything. We do not need anyone in the middle. So that's where this thing comes when, you know.
Anyone has something to say?
Yes, go ahead.
There's actually one thing. Don't we when we pay namaz, we face the Kaaba.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that kind of the middleman?
Nope.
Isn't that like having a meeting with Allah?
Yes, praying is meeting, and that's that question might take like more than that, but let me quickly answer. So Kaaba, it is actually a very big misconception about among like non-Muslims. They think that we worship Kaaba. Just like you said, Kaaba is our middleman. Kaaba is just a direction, nothing else, nothing more than that. It's the direction where we pray. We just turn to that direction and pray. And it is that, you know, when the prophets came, they said, you know, is there any place that we can call Allah's home? So Allah said, the entire earth is Allah's. But yes, there are like certain places which we call Allah's home, which are the masajid, the masjids. Those we consider Allah's homes. We gather there so we can worship Allah collectively together. So the whole purpose of having a masjid is not that masjid is some place where we can have some idols or we can have some, you know, middle person. It's just a place to gather. About Kaaba, Kaaba is like, you know, has a special position among all the other masajid because it was built by who? Anyone?
I'm pretty sure Ibrahim alayhi salam, his son.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, exactly. So Kaaba was built by Ibrahim, but it is usually said, and I don't know a lot about this narration, but it's said that in the beginning it was built by Adam alayhi salam. Of course, it was destroyed. Then after Nuh alayhi salam, it was destroyed completely. So the one that we have is where Ibrahim alayhi salam and the entire story is in the Quran, where they were building Kaaba and they were asking Allah to accept from us. So that is the house that Allah declared to be his house. That's where we go and we gather. So the whole purpose of having Kaaba is, number one, having a direction. People directing to the same place. And number two, gathering. That's all. So to answer your question, Ahmed, it is not any middle something. Even about
Middleman.
yes. Even I remember there was a saying, and I might get wrong when I use the wordings, but it is said by Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu that he said to the Hajar Aswad. Hajar Aswad is the black stone, which is it is said to come from Jannah, and it is part of Kaaba. The main Kaaba. It's there. Hazrat Umar said that I what is that word? I kiss. So we usually when we do it with every round, when we do Umrah or Hajj, we kiss the Hajar Aswad. So he said, I only do this because I saw Prophet ﷺ doing that. Otherwise, I know that you are just a stone. So even Hajar Aswad, that's a stone that came from Jannah. It cannot change our fate. We cannot make dua to that stone. It came from Jannah, but still, it is still just a stone, nothing else, nothing more than that. So nothing can change our fate. We cannot make dua to anything or anyone except Allah. If we think that something or somebody can change our fate, then that's where we are committing shirk, which is associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so okay, inshallah, I'm gonna stop recording here. And yeah, I wasn't able to go through the chat. I'll try to do this right now. So inshallah, if there's any question, I can answer tomorrow.